Hi, welcome back to the Bullhucker podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
Michelle Staley.
And today we have our guest, a very good friend of mine, Miss Kelly Pelton.
Hey, baby, she's my good friend.
I'm your only friend.
Listen, let's not fight. Children.
Children. Before we get started, I want to tell you, please check us out on thebullhucker.com. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the video. Put the little bell icon so it shows you notifications about when the new videos come out.
Nice.
Also, on any platform you listen to, please have a like or comment, whatever you like, unless they're ugly. Unless they're bad, nothing Michelle, but then...
Yeah. Oh, there's some out there, let me tell you.
Yep.
Haters gonna hate.
What can you do?
You know, I got the greatest T-shirt. I got the Haters Gonna Hate T-shirt, but it's got the two old men from the Muppets. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The guys up on the balcony that talk shit the whole time.
What are their names? Just two old guys?
Vondorf and... No, gosh, no, I can't. It's like, it's two German names. It's the strangest thing. You know what I mean?
Sven.
No, it's I say visually German, but what's the word? Audibly virgin. My name is Louis Lundstrom. I can't talk. I shouldn't be on this.
You just said virgin.
I did. Surprising thing I'm not. So, usually when we get started with this, I always say how we all know each other, how I met Kelly. Some of my best friends. She is sister-in-law to a very good friend Mike, Crystal, and Tim. And that's how I got to meet Kelly. And Kelly's very funny. I like Kelly.
Oh, yeah, Kelly's funny.
You know, very.
Don't put on the pressure here.
I put on the pressure because if Kelly's not funny,
Yeah, this is going to suck.
this is going to be horrible. This is going to be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I know. I wish I would have had that memo.
Yeah. And Kelly's also a nurse, so this should be good.
Clearly a medical assistant. We can't say nurse because
really?
I'm technically not a nurse. So
Come
medical
on, Larry.
assistant. Get with the program.
She used to work down here, and I went in for strep or something one day. And Kelly and I have a relationship where we just say horrible shit to each other sometimes, right? We joke around a lot. We have a very joking relationship.
Yeah.
And I was doing her, I think it was strep throat. I'm almost positive it was. And I came out, and I gave her the thumbs up. I'm like, hey, Kelly, still AIDS-free, joking. And I got the disapproval look like, shaking her head like, not at my job, idiot.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
There's professional Kelly, which is still not very professional, and then there's Kelly.
I didn't dig professional Kelly because I felt horrible. Like, am I not funny?
Did I lose it when I walked in that room through that threshold?
That's exactly what I said. So, and also my friend Michelle. How do you guys know each other? From the gym? Or?
Boy, from the gym. Yeah, we spent some time there together complaining about workouts. God. Yeah.
I witnessed her on a treadmill with stilettos, I believe they
were.
Oh,
boy. I was like, what story is she going to tell here? Yeah. Yeah, I
really?
rocked those big old stilettos.
She did, too. Oh, yeah. They were
why
like,
why would you do that?
Because she's sassy and bougie.
Yeah.
And she can do it.
That's the first time I've ever been called bougie. Bougie.
What is bougie?
I don't know. You're going to have to Google that. My daughter says it.
Oh, wow. If I'm in that realm, if the girls think.
Hey, Siri, what does bougie mean?
Oh, boy.
Oh, it didn't say. Hey, Siri.
She's ignoring you.
What does bougie mean?
Here's an answer from genius.com. Bougie is an intentional misspelling of bougie, which is slang for bourgeois and refers to the materialism of society's middle class.
Well, no, that's so not it. She refers to bougie as like really zha-zha and fancy. And
I don't know how it gives
Siri, you're a liar.
Yeah, I don't know how we asked for a definition and you leave more confused after the definition.
I know, right?
Mid-class.
No, I didn't. I'll just say that I didn't make it a habit to walk on the treadmill with those bad boys, but she did.
Really?
How do you think I met Staley? No,
That's how you met Staley. It's like a stripper workout. Is that what it is? Like,
yes. They weren't for my past career or anything like that.
what's your past career?
Well,
It included those
yeah, the
stilettos.
shoes.
Listen to the Eye of the
Maybe.
Tiger just rocking out stilettos on the...
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we had some pretty good Christmas parties.
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
It was good
Laughed
stuff
a
there.
lot. Always laughed a lot with Kelly.
Yeah.
One thing I love about Kelly, though, if she doesn't like you, you pretty much know she doesn't like you.
Really?
And I for a long time, I tried so hard. I just wanted her to be my friend, and look, I won her over.
Can we just be friends?
Yeah. So.
You be my buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I'm starting to adjust this. Okay. So, Michelle, thank you for coming, too,
Absolutely.
by the way. We haven't had you on for a while.
I know.
The reason I'm happy Michelle's here is because Michelle has a worse record than I do at this. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah, you're 0-1, babe. 0-1. Jan Neb is 0-2. We've actually got beat twice in a row.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like we both got beat the last 2 episodes. So we got to really kick Kelly's ass.
Okay.
You know?
See how good a liar she is. We'll see how good she is at this.
So what we do here at the Bullhucker podcast, in case you're new to this, is Kelly's came on today and she's brought us 3 stories about her life. 3 stories she likes to tell. So she's going to tell all 3 stories, but the trick is only 2 of these stories are true. One is a bullhucker, a bullshit. It's a lie, a fib, correct?
Yeah.
So the one that is not true, Kelly, is it actually made up or is it borrowed from somebody or what is it?
So it's a series of real life events that I actually got to witness. Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
And I was there.
Okay.
Oh.
But it's not mine personally.
Okay, so it's kind of a borrowed story. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of borrowed. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Kelly, did you watch my Bullhucker podcast?
I did.
Mhm.
I believe you talked about one of our favorites from the gym. Howard?
The Speedo guy, right?
Was that?
Yes.
It is not a lie.
I just talked about Howard with the Pena the other day too.
It is not a lie.
The guy with the Speedo?
There are things you cannot unsee,
know.
and it burns forever in your brain.
Yeah.
I don't
you
know.
see these people, and you're like, no, oh God, no. Fetal position, sucking your thumb.
He was proud. He's proud of it.
very,
though, so
very
hey,
proud.
more power to Howard, I guess.
To be fair, he probably judged a chick on stilettos on the treadmill too. You know what I mean?
He was probably standing behind her going,
Oh God.
Whoever Howie is thinking he's thinking like at the gym. There's a chick who walks on the treadmill with stilettos. I mean, what a stripper,
Look
am
at
I
those
right?
quad muscles.
And then they high five each other and stuff.
That's probably my fault that he is the way he is.
That's the body from if you'd like to go watch the freak show happening there.
that's where all the good stuff happens.
But I've been going back and I get on the treadmill. Yeah, I haven't went back in the last week though because I've been busy. I'm in Salt Lake City. Anyway, that's here and there.
Anywho.
I'm the old fat guy now. It's horrible. Like I don't even try and buy like cool gym clothes anymore. I got like the $10 pack of Walmart shirts. That's what I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying?
But no, you should wear those anyway because you're sweating them anyway.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
stink
yeah.
and then
They
they
get
hold
nappy.
that funky odor.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Just funkalicious.
I bring my little tablet and I watch the Cobra Kai. I'm not even trying at this
While
point.
you're
You know what I'm
working
saying?
out.
I'm just like I got the
You see him about the.
yeah.
Humming everybody's kung fu fight.
Oh my God! I'm doing that little like brisk old man walk. You know what I mean? Just really getting into it. You know what I mean? Thinking, shit, I'm gonna
That's
lose
called
weight.
walking.
It's walking.
Intentional walking.
That's like jog walking, right?
Yeah,
I'm
kinda.
nowhere close to that
Kinda
pace.
You know,
Sorta.
we're just going to go ahead and just let you believe that.
Yeah.
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 You're-
We need a fit challenge is what we need.
You need a fit challenge. I don't.
You won't do that?
I don't know.
I don't know if I'll ever get him talked into it again.
What if I have a heart attack and die? I'm not
I
in
can
shape.
resuscitate you.
Can you really?
Yeah, Kelly will be our team because I can't do that. But
Have you ever had to do that before?
I actually have, yeah.
You have resuscitated someone
yes,
before.
I have. I was back in high school, yeah. My boss,
Oh, really?
Ross Davison, he got stung by a wasp and we didn't know he was allergic and he went down and I had to give him mouth to mouth and that was
Ross
disgusting.
Davidson.
Really?
From is he from Akron?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ross.
Yeah, well, was because he's passed away, but yeah.
Oh.
He's super old. Like,
Really?
really old,
I'm
really
thinking of
old.
maybe his son possibly is who I'm thinking of.
Possibly,
maybe.
yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Anywho.
Good people.
Yeah.
So he was stung by a wasp. He just quit breathing.
Well, he's just sitting there and he was just like, oh, and he just slumps over and I'm like,
Wow.
dude, Ross. I'm like, something's wrong with Ross. When I'm only in high school, and I went
Right.
over there and I'm like, kind of smacking his face. I'm like, he's not moving. Just
So you hadn't actually practiced. I talk for a
I
living.
practiced it.
I talk for a living. Practice on an Annie before?
Yeah, I
before?
had.
Oh,
yeah.
you had. Okay.
In high school, actually, so it's even funnier. And then, everybody's like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And then they're like, yeah, "I'm like, call 911." And I'm like, because
Yeah.
he's got all that, he had like crusty stuff around his mouth, and
Nice.
he always had this little stringy thing right here when he talked.
Nice.
And I was like, "Ugh, I'm gonna vomit." The first thing when he talked to me after he was awake and everything was good was he asked me. He said, "I have one question for you." And I said, "Yeah, what's up?" And he's like, "Did you shit in my mouth?" And I was like, "What? What?"
That was
I
his
like-
first question. Not
I
like,
was
thank
like-
you for saving me or.
Yeah, no. And I was like, "Wait, what? And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I woke up with this horrible taste in my mouth." And I was like, "No, I did
You're
not
like,
shit
it
in your
wasn't me.
mouth."
No, pal. That taste was there when I tasted it too.
Yeah.
So
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You always want that little mask to cover something.
Yeah.
right.
I'm just
Here's
saying.
the deal, Ross. Don't get stung by another wasp because you're on your
Ever.
own. I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
die, homeboy. That's
Wow.
yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
intense.
I've told people that before. Guys at work. I said, hey, if you need mouth to mouth, I'll punch you in the chest and scream "live" a few times. You don't resuscitate, dude. You're on your own. Okay.
Or like the Office episode. Do you remember that?
I don't watch The
episode?
Office. I've never got into it. I know. Get out.
I
Is
know.
it one
Yeah.
where he cuts the face off and he's face down?
Yes. It's a good episode. No,
What does he do?
he cuts off the Annie face and like puts it over his face.
Face
and,
Who
you
does?
know,
Acts like he's like
It was,
Hannibal Lecter
Kramer?
and-
Kramer.
Wait.
What?
No, The Office. I'm thinking of Seinfeld. Never mind.
Yeah, you don't.
We need to educate him.
I don't watch. I
Okay.
tried to watch. I couldn't get into it. I don't. It's.
It's funny.
You have to have that, obviously, like special humor to watch that.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
say special, because no.
We're special, Cal.
That's not.
Okay,
that's
we
not
are.
supposed to be
Special.
correct.
We are.
Mhm.
We're special.
So just the one
Well.
person. So in your medical career, you never had to do it at all.
Oh yeah, I had to do it one time
Really?
in the office. No, it was in the waiting room, and the lady was like, and I just kind of went behind her and gave her some thrusts, and she was good to go.
Was she eating chicken?
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to know what she ate or what was lodged in there, but she was
Do-
breathing after,
That's
so we're
usually what
good.
happens.
You bring chicken into the doctor
Sometimes.
with you? Like it's gonna be a waiting
She's like,
list.
Yeah, sometimes if I didn't
it's
grab,
good.
if I didn't grab lunch, you gotta.
I'm here for my appointment. Me and the colonel.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is my friend Michelle. That's why I love Michelle so much. You know what I mean? She got a little redneck in her, and
Yes, I am a redneck.
I love that though.
Yes.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
So are a lot of these stories about being a nurse or no?
Two of them, yes.
Okay.
Wait, which ones are they again?
The stories we have for you are Splitting Hairs,
That's a nurse story.
Angels Among Us,
That's kind of a nurse story.
and we have a floater.
That is not a nurse story.
That's not about
Ew.
Ross, is it?
How did you know?
I know.
Floater in the mouth. Mm.
Num 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 num.
I certainly I didn't really.
I
don't-
couldn't do it. I God bless those people.
In the stringy, I just.
I don't know
Like,
how
even
like
if it was what if I fell over right now, choking on my chicken?
I would grab some of that Lysol and spray your mouth first, and then it would
I would point at you and scream Kelly like a little girl. Kelly, Kelly, Kelly.
help.
Ross 2.0's on the arcade. Rochelle.
Well,
Rochelle.
at least I know that Kelly can.
I'll punch you in the chest while she does it. That's
Listen, I'll do my best.
Yes.
I make no promises.
and I'll scream live because I've seen that on TV. That's what they do. Live and smack you in the
damn
right here. Right? Is that where you hit him?
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Yeah, right in between the nipples. You really don't want to hit them though. You're just gonna go down and then find that little spot. And
I'm probably just gonna hit you.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want to be
hit ya.
weird. Like, why is Larry groping me? I'm like, Kelly was kissing you 5 minutes ago. You know?
yeah, I mean, you were
I'll
fine.
be like, I was breathing just fine, Larry. You did not need to do
He's
that.
like, oh,
I just fell down there.
she told me to push.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I have weak ankles, dude. Come on. From the stilettos.
I was gonna say it. You beat me to it. You so beat me to it. All right,
Okay.
Kelly, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Michelle, you're the guest.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you pick the first story.
I'm gonna have to go with Angels Among Us.
Angels Among Us. All right. So when I was pregnant with Destiny, I decided, well, I was doing EMT classes and they were late in the evening, and we got to go and do an internship at different places around the area. So I got to pick the, oh my gosh, Trauma 2 Center of Aurora. And I was excited about it because there's a lot of trauma in there. Well, you know, you're emotional when you're pregnant, and every time anybody would come in, it was more or less like, are we going to help them? Can we
Yeah,
help them?
yeah.
Type thing. Met some really amazing people. And the third day I was there, we had a 10-car pileup. There was several different cars smashed, obviously, into each other. They brought them all over to the trauma center. And they had all of us students go in and start giving compressions on an older woman, and it was really cool because when they went to incubator and they put the tube down her throat, I felt it, and I panicked. I was like, I feel that, you know,
Yeah.
and they're all like, where, you know, and they're all angry, and because I'm a student, don't know what the hell I'm
Oh,
doing,
gotcha.
and freaking
Right,
out,
right.
and you're exhausted, and giving, you know, CPR to a live person is nothing like the Annie doll.
It's nothing like the Annie doll.
No, it's very weird, very squishy kind of sensation. It's gross. Anyway,
It's not like making out. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
it kind of is. It just depends on who you're making out with. Don't tell Damon I said
I'm,
that. No.
I'm sorry. You're like, wow, I'm kind of into older women now.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
if
really,
Olga was.
I didn't have to give her mouth to mouth because
Okay.
they bag valved her,
okay.
you know, so
I
they had her
mean,
right there.
Give her a chance when she's at least conscious. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Maybe she might be an amazing kisser.
We had to
okay?
take the dentures out though because
Hey.
you know you don't want that to choke.
I'm gonna keep that right here.
You're like, yeah,
I'm gonna
I could
keep
go
that.
there too. Totally go there.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep this PG.
Why?
Yeah. Why?
That doesn't make it any fun.
That's right.
Not at all. Just
Larry,
wait.
you say it.
The gummer. Okay.
He's got that smirk. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
I'm a guy. It's like a mythical thing. It's
Mythical. It's like a unicorn.
you
The
know
gummer,
what?
every man's mythical dream.
Oh, it's one of those weird things. It's like a scooter. Like no one. You won't admit to riding it, but
Anyway,
yeah,
Anywho,
seriously,
so-
that gets cut out right there. Boom, boom.
so she ends up living, and it was all joyful, whatever. And I mean, I don't know if she's still alive or not, but two younger.
Wait. You said she was 90?
No, I didn't say how old she was. She's an
Oh,
old
okay.
lady.
Okay.
I mean, she
Old
was.
lady.
She was.
I'm just saying, thinking 90. Okay, I'll
she
quit
was
interrupting.
She was old. She could have been 90. I don't know, but she's pretty old.
Okay.
So she ended up living, which was great. But then they had two younger people die, and I was not okay with that. I was actually really upset. I was really upset, and even thinking about it kind of gets me choked up now. But
Like younger, like adult young, or
like
like children young.
20.
Okay,
and
so they're adults still.
18,
Okay,
but
okay.
Still really young,
Sure,
They've
sure.
got their whole lives ahead of them.
Of course.
And I could not wrap my mind around why we could not save them. And it really, really upset me. And just to watch their families in the halls and they're crying, and it was just really shook me up. And I had to take a moment. I went down at the hall and just slid down this long hall and just started bawling. Just started crying my eyes out, because why? Why? Of all things, why couldn't, and it sounds terrible, why couldn't the older lady die and these two people live?
Sure.
I couldn't wrap my mind around that. And
She's kind of already had her run. So,
yeah, right? You're
Well,
old.
it's mean to
go
say,
go to
but yeah.
sleep.
Sorry.
You know?
She has.
I
She
get
did
it.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, in my mind, I was just like, these people are so young, and I just
Right.
was shook. So I was crying in the hall, my emotional little pregnant self, and okay, I wasn't little, let's be honest, because you're pregnant, but just a mess about all of it. And this gentleman walked up to me, and he was wearing, I'll never forget what he was wearing. He was wearing black cowboy boots, black pants. He had a leather like vest jacket on, and he had this darker gray shirt on. And he says, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm just upset. We lost some people. I can't tell him much because HIPAA and everything." And
Sure.
and he's like, "Well," he says, "it's going to be okay." And I said, "No, it's not. People died today, and they shouldn't be dead. They should be alive. It's not fair." And he sat there and he talked to me, and he told me that God had a greater plan that I couldn't understand. And I was like, "Well, I understand that, but still, it's not fair." And he's like, "No, it's not." But he says, their purpose for dying was legit. And he says, you have to understand that when they're called home, maybe there's a bigger reason. Maybe the chain effect, or the ripple effect, if you would, to their families is going to do something to better their lives, as morbid as that sounds. But he just sat there and talked to me and made me feel a lot better about it. And I was like, okay, well, thank you so much. And he gave me a great big hug, and it was really beautiful. And he prayed with me right there. And I was very moved. It was like, okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right, And I went back and I found my nurse friend, the one lady who I was shadowing, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I want to be okay, but I don't know if I can do this for a living. Like, I don't know if I
Right,
can
right.
watch people die. It's so hard." And she says, "Yeah, it is hard, but you get kind of callous to it, and just it is what it is." And I said, "Yeah," I said, "that guy that was just down the hall," and we both looked at the hall, and I'm like, "That guy was right there, though. He was, like right there, And she's like, "What guy?" And she's like, "I didn't see a guy there this whole time. I know you were over there. I saw you." She's like, "I didn't see a guy." And I'm like, "There is a guy."
Angels among us.
He was standing right there talking to me, I swear.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was beautiful. I got goosebumps. It's not just because I'm cold.
right.
It was a
And
really
you never
cool
saw
thing.
this dude again.
Never saw him again. No, and nobody else swears. Everybody swears they didn't see him. Everybody else swears they didn't see him. It was really, really cool. Probably one of the most memorable things that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Right.
It was beautiful.
Right. That's awesome.
It probably helped you continue to stay in the career that you're in.
Yeah, definitely. Just
Right.
not working in the ER.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Maybe those kids died. No, all joking aside, maybe that's where you're at now.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons. Maybe because of an unfortunate death, maybe it brought families together that weren't speaking, or I don't know. I won't even begin to try to figure out why.
Sure.
Because then, I'll get all emotional about it.
When Mom got COVID, it was three ambulance rides to the. It was just the first time her life wasn't in danger. Her rheumatoid arthritis was just flaring up, and she was in so much pain. Long story short, I stayed with her the whole time, and the stuff she had, the medicine they had her on, really messed with her. Like, I got scared. Like, I didn't know. I'm not a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I woke up and I was my nurse, I'd be like, give me a bullet and a painkiller, because this is, So I grabbed the little prescription cards and I took them to the ER, and I said, hey, here's what's going on. Is this normal? Because she started talking like crazy. Like, I said, Mom, do you have a pill splitter? And she's like, ask the other man who takes the money, Larry. I go, I think he went home, Mom. I think he's off the clock. So it's just you and me.
Yeah.
Do you have what side of the kitchen is it on? Larry, ask the man. Ask the man. Takes all my money. I go, well, okay, Mom. And she goes, oh, and we need to do the windows today, so we got to drink water. I said, okay, like.
You were like,
So, but I remember this. I went, and I was freaking out. Like, I didn't know what to do. I had no clue what to do. They had told me before the second trip, the doctor, I pulled him aside and said, what can I do? And he's like, her life's not in danger. I have nowhere to put her during this COVID thing. We have nowhere to put her, man. You have to take her home. I was like, oh, my God. I was scared. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was freaking out. So, but there was this one young nurse in the Brush Hospital. I don't know. I wish I had read her name tag. And I went in there, and her blood oxygen went down to like 79. Ooh. And I went back in there because I kept driving back and forth. And she's like, well, I can't. They won't give you a device because it makes them liable, I suppose.
Right.
She goes, we can call the ambulance, and they'll go by and do a check on her, and then go from there. Whatever. And I guess I probably looked like I was freaking out because she grabbed me and just hugged me. She's like, it's going to be okay, dude. It's going to be okay. And I was like,
yeah. Yeah.
She's like, you're a good son. I hope my kids are good like you. And I'm like, well,
yeah.
So it's hard to do. I can't imagine what it's like to be in that industry. I can't imagine, especially during this whole COVID thing. I mean, kudos to all of them. I mean, the abuse they've probably taken, and, because when I told that doctor, when he's like, you got to take her home, I'm like, can I speak to you outside? And he looked at me like, you're going to fight me, dude.
Like, bro.
No, and I wasn't. I like, hey, man, I just don't know what to do. I mean, is there anything? What can I do? So anyway, I hope that story's true. I really do. If it's not true.
Yeah, well, you guys know, I think, that my mom passed away when I was like 16. Well, she, prior to that, she had some episodes where she was in the operating room and she saw herself and,
Really?
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. She passed, she passed and they brought her back, and
Right.
she had some pretty interesting stories. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was she on a kind of painkiller? Or?
She probably was. She probably was, She was probably, but yeah, she had some pretty crazy stories. I mean, and then going through what we went through with Ty and the NICU experience and all of that,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just like, NICU nurses, holy leak. I never in a million years could I. And I was scared to take Ty home after he'd been in the hospital for 4 months.
Right.
They let you sleep in with them. And Scott and I, they'd had him off all the bells and whistles and everything. And Scott and I didn't sleep a wink that night. We were like, oh, how are we taking this thing home with us? Like, we weren't.
Right.
So they let us do another sleep in, and they're like, you're fine. You're going. But my saving grace, because I lived in Anton at the time, in the middle of nowhere, right?
It's definitely.
And I like, here I am
somewhere.
with this preemie that's on oxygen 24/7. Like, I mean, I'm not nurse material whatsoever, but I can make his room look cute, but that's about it. Like,
Right.
and so,
Fantastic.
I know one of my good friends that knew me since I was a kid, there was a volunteer ambulance down there. And she's like, we're just down the road. That was my saving grace, because I was
Right.
like, okay, at the end of the day. So it
Yeah.
takes special people.
Oh.
Like,
Right.
and even do, what you do on a day in, day out basis, Kel.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I tip my hat to every single medical person, and I don't care what their title is, whether they're a CNA, whether they're housekeeping in the hospitals. Watching what I had to watch, because after I left Banner, we're just going to say, Banner and I separated.
you separated. Okay.
Yes.
That happens from time to time.
She was joking with some fat guy about AIDS. We got to get rid of Kelly.
Get rid of her.
He thought it was hilarious. What's wrong with her?
And she knew something.
Imagine she read that rule book.
But yeah, when I had to go and travel, and I was doing a bunch of traveling, working in COVID facilities, having to watch what some of those doctors and nurses and receptionists and just people just who were there, the kindness of their heart, helping just to like check temps and to make sure
Right.
things were good when all
Right.
the chaos was going down.
Yep.
They got brutally, just verbally assaulted by people because
Sure.
the lack of, not understanding and just the lack of education with it all. And it's nobody's fault. It is what it is. So I definitely think healthcare workers are freaking awesome. All of them.
And I mean, nobody saw this coming either. Nobody saw this coming.
Nope.
You know, so pretty crazy. That's a great story, Kelly. It really is. I hope it. What do you think?
Not sure.
Okay.
I am not sure.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
I think she does. She doubts your cowboy. I don't.
I don't know. We'll just have to see how she is with the other two. So
After
we'll
the
see.
first story, it's super hard
Yeah.
because you don't know. I have to judge it by another story. And by the way, I did forget to say we are at the Sands Theater. I always forget to do that. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce and Brush, for letting us do this here. It's so super cool of them to
The
let us.
historical.
The
Sands
historical
Theater.
Sands Theater, and it's going to be open pretty soon. You can see behind us, they're going to do. The balconies are open now, so they're remodeling those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Lovely.
It is beautiful in here.
It
really
is cool, and I'll give you the little tour, and we're done. So, my idea was to put like pimp couches up there, like
Yeah,
kind of
Heck
pimp
yeah.
VIP, you know,
like
watch-
your lounge area.
yeah, yeah,
I
you
don't
know.
know. That can be kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. You might.
Yeah.
Somebody else might come and sit down and be like, "What is that sticky stuff?"
Pop, Kelly, pop.
I was
It's
going to say
soda
junior
pop.
mints. Like,
Soda
I don't-
pop, yeah. I'm a fat guy, so I'll be like, well, I guess I'll taste it.
Oh,
Junior mints,
no.
Well, you got to give it a shot, man. Hey, I'm a fat guy. I always have been, Kelly. And I'm a dude. So, like, I see a Cheeto on the couch. I'm like, how'd you get away? You know? Well,
You look-
that thing's been hiding from me like Anne Frank. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. The fat one's back. The fat one's back. Not
Hide me,
today.
hide me.
Not today, Chester.
Look away. Look away.
That's right. That's right. You can smell us. All right, Kelly. You ready for the second one?
Yeah.
So, the one I want to really hear, I'm going to hold off to the third one. So I'm going to pick splitting hairs.
Okay.
Right.
Splitting hairs.
The other one I really want to hear, but I want that to be the last one. So.
That may not be as exciting as you think.
Okay, all right.
All right, so splitting hairs. This actually goes to where I'm working now. I work at a really great asthma allergy clinic. Anyway, so I'm the new fish. I'm brand new to the place. Everybody knows what they're doing. It's great. I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. I'm eager to get some stuff done. And
Right.
so they're like, so today you get to do skin testing, and really easy. They're like, it's a straight arrow 34 panel, and you just do scratch testing. And it's really easy. I could go into that, but nobody wants to hear
You
it.
scratch kids up. Is that what you do?
I do.
Yeah.
And babies
Oh.
and moms.
Yeah.
My
That'd
God.
be hard. I don't.
yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, right.
Listen, I don't feel anything, so I'm good.
So as I said again, takes
Send-
a
send the
takes
robot
a special
Kelly in.
someone. Yeah, no kidding.
Someone's like, "Oh, it really hurts." I'm like, "I'm sorry." Like, hold still.
You know, I kind of wanted to be a tattoo artist at one point too. So
Did
hey.
you?
No, she did.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I just make the dots.
Yeah, yeah.
Connect the dots. I'm like, "Does it hurt?" No.
I think that's where it's like animal cruelty leads to like serial killers. So that might be like the list right below animal cruelty. Anyway, I got to scrape your baby.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's really not like that. It's just a little pick.
Okay,
Anyway,
okay.
it's not a needle. But so my trainer, her name is Angelica, real name.
Wait,
She's fabulous.
Angelica?
Angelica.
Angelica.
Or if other people who can't pronounce her name, Herlica or Angelica. I'm not even kidding, guys. Old lady
Wow.
comes in, she's like, "Herlica, can you give me my shot today?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Did she just call you Herlica?" She's like, "Yeah, just go with it. I don't even want to just go with it."
Lady, I'm
I'm
gonna give you a shot in the mouth. Can we Hurlica again? That's what's going on.
So Herlica, better known as Angelica, she's like, I'm gonna not Angelica, Angelica. See, I even screwed up her name.
What's
What
up,
the
Angelica?
heck?
What's
no,
up?
really. She's
What
like, she even
up?
told me, she's like, "I totally am gonna listen to this." I'm like, you should listen to all of them. They're great. But anyway,
Thank you.
So yeah, so she's like, I'm gonna let you take lead on this. So just go do all of his vitals, get everything done. So I go in, do everything, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna go next door to the room where we do our skin testing. And I tell him everything from the waist up comes off. Keep your mask on though, because we have to keep your mask on through this.
Right.
And he's like, okay. And he's a little hesitant. I'm like, I'll step out and give you some privacy. I said, if you want a gown, and I'm like, can I say that to a guy? Like, can I offer him a gown?
Right.
I said, you just put it on, but leave it open in the back. So, because we do all the skin testing on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, okay. I said, I'll go get all the stuff and I'll be right
So
back.
he didn't want his upper body exposed.
Not even a little bit. I oh God. Anyway.
You know what? Women are born with breasts. Some of us men have to earn them. You know what I'm saying? Be proud, dude. Be proud.
Oh God! Can I interrupt real quick?
Oh, please do.
So when I was on my way over here, there's a guy tooling down flat on his big old bike.
Like bicycle or
A
motorbike?
motorcycle.
Okay.
He's got his music blaring, and he has no shirt on.
Oh God.
And he is hairy and round. And
What do
Fuzzball.
you scream at him, Michelle? Tell me something. Make me proud.
like, hey, baby. No,
Shirt or bra, dude? One or the other. You got to
He
pick.
was
I just want to floss
I
with
just
it.
like I was like, you're riding around without no helmet, no shirt, and he had to pull his pants up at the stoplight.
Oh, Lord,
because
no.
The plumber was hanging out.
He wasn't
Oh, man.
crack-a-lacking at all.
Dude, the plumber's the worst, man. Patty sticks her finger in mine. It's horrible.
No.
I do that.
That's how she's training
I
me.
do that to Staley all the time.
That's how she
Yeah.
trains me.
Tell me you didn't go.
No. No.
Well, he did when on the bike. Yeah, I think he did. Pretty sure. Then he fluffed his hair.
He had long hair.
Grabbed his,
Oh, it was on his chest.
he grabbed his pick and he's like,
I can't make that up. I'm like, I was like, did I just see what I thought I saw? I'm like, okay, he's trying to get some sun.
he's under all that fuzz.
You're gonna see him. You're gonna see him. You're gonna want to see.
He's gonna
Gorilla.
have bleached out gorilla man hair all over his body from the sun.
Or he's gonna watch this podcast and then he's gonna be like, that bitch.
She's got a hairy back. She's got a hairy back. He's gonna be all sad, you know.
But hey, you know what? More power to him if he's confident enough to ride around on his bike.
Sometimes I think you just get old enough where you just don't care. You just don't care.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm not that well. Am I there yet? I don't know. Let my hairy back out. I don't know.
How hairy is your back?
I have like 4 hairs on my back now. I'm the most hairless Chihuahua son of a bitch ever. Part Japanese. Oh, it's bad. Like I've had people like, "Do you shave your legs?" I'm like, "No, I'm just naturally this unhairy. Like puberty ought to set in any time now, you know." But
You're so disappointed. Man.
well, when I was younger, this is great. Like everybody had like this stupid hairy legs. I'm like, man,
So
I look great.
you're like, ew.
Now I'm like, I wish I could grow some hair. That'd be, you know.
Well, look at it right here.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's all gray and horrible. But anyway,
Just let it go gray.
I think it's so long as we were interrupted somebody for
Sorry.
the story.
But it's perfect because
It is. I mean, I had to do a double take. Okay, go ahead.
So homeboy didn't want to. Yeah, he did or
Yeah.
did not want one.
No, and he's wearing a shirt, and I mean he's got looks like normal hair on his arms. You know, I don't see any like hamburger coming out of his shirt up here or back there. I'm like, you know, it's good. So
My Uncle Sherm had a lot of that.
Hamburger.
Yeah.
so I go grab the trays and I come back in, and I'm like, oh, I don't. I'm so glad I had a mask because I'm sure in my mouth I was like,
Wow. Do tell, Cal.
what is
Do tell.
happening with this? I have never seen back hair, chest hair, arm hair as thick and long and curly, kinky as I had this man's
Really?
back hair. And it was everywhere, like everywhere. I kind of felt bad for the guy, right? And I'm like,
So obviously he was a little self-conscious.
well,
of it,
I
too.
think he like trimmed because, but the best part is it was, you can see kind of like, you know, where he kind of trimmed it down a little bit so it
Right,
wasn't so
right.
hanging out or whatever. Anyway.
Right.
So I composed myself and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have you lay down on your stomach on the bed right there, and I'm going to get started. Do you have any questions for me? And he's like, yeah, I'm not sure if I was supposed to shave my back or anything. And I said, it's fine. We'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. I'm trying to be very professional and not make him feel uncomfortable because this is my first scratch test, for
Right.
Christ's sakes. Like,
Right,
you know,
right,
make the
right.
guy, I'm already clammy and sweaty. Like, how the hell am I going to do this? So
Right.
in
Did you
Angelica,
say, hey, they got that long thing? You've seen that infomercial for it? The long shaver for the back.
Next time you're mowing your lawn, have your neighbor go over your back a little
Yeah.
bit. So just lay down on your
Please.
stomach. And,
So I'm like, okay, I'm going over it in my head. How am I going to do this? Because you have to have a fairly decent surface with no hair to see any of these welts or anything coming up that, you know, after you apply the skin test and measuring, you have to measure them too. So I'm like, how do I, and then I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. So Angelica just smiles really big at me and she's like, and she hands me a freaking razor.
Oh, you had to shave his back?
Oh my God. So seriously,
Get out.
no. So I'm like,
Did you get out?
She
What's that shaving cream? Barbazole or what is that stuff?
Oh my god, napalm. It sounds like.
Well, and she just goes, and I'm like, mm-mm. And she's like, I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna clean your back off with some rubbing alcohol. And I'm looking at her because I'm like, where do I go from here?
Right.
I really don't know where to go from here. So I, little cotton ball and a little thingy. I'm like, and I look at her. I'm like, it's not working.
Yeah.
I'm like, help. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Right,
And
right.
she's like, so she comes back and she has I'm not even shitting you, a comb. She gives me a comb and she's like, I'm like, I'm not brushing his back hair. I'm not going to freaking brush his back hair, guys.
You want me to part his back?
So she's like, she says, okay, sir, I'm going to show her how we need to do this. So she comes over like she's done this 100,000 times, pulls the comb down, takes this razor, and she goes, and it's not doing much of anything. And she looks at the razor, and it is packed full. It's like
Did she wet his back down and put cream on it? You just didn't dry.
dry.
Oh.
Dry, my friends, dry.
That's a dick move, Angelica.
Well, then I told her, I said, okay, I'll be right back.
Angelica, whatever.
Hurlica.
Hurlica.
So we go out, and I'm like, what the hell are we supposed to do? And she's like, we got to shave his back because we can't do this. I mean, because like when you do EKGs, you got to shave areas to put,
Sure.
And you're just like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm going to give you some razor bumps here, or you can put some of the sticky stuff down and kind of rip it off and be like, congratulations, you
I
just
have
got
a
a free
story
wax
about that,
job.
but we can't
Oof.
share it.
So you're going to have to tell us later.
Your waxing story.
Oh, bad. It's horrible.
You have to tell us.
Okay, anywho.
So I'm like, do we have a razor? Do we have like an electric razor? We can trim it shorter, down where we're going to do the panel, just in those areas, and then leave the hair kind of long, but enough that we can get the skin test. They're like, yeah, okay, that'll work. So I'm like, perfect. I'm like, solution, let's go. I'm excited. We're going to get this done. I go in there. I start the razor, it's a bzzz, and he's like, are you shaving my back? And I said, yes, sir, we're going to just a little bit, and he's like, okay. And he's like, he's really apologetic. He feels really bad about this.
It would be very awkward.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
awkward.
Yeah.
And I go, zzz, and he goes, zzz. I'm like, oh, and he goes, out of his mouth, he goes, oh, son of a bitch. And I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. It was bad. It was
Did
so
you need
bad.
the dog clippers?
Well, it was one of those hair trimmer looking things, And
Yeah.
I'm like,
It clogged the trimmer.
it
That's
was
amazing.
bad. It was so bad. And so I'm like, okay, let's go for it. Shit you not. I took a pin and I started to split his hair, parting his hair. Wiping the area, taking a marker, because you have to mark with the expo marker, and I start with a T, start with trees, and I'm like, trying to I'm like, I'm not going to be able to label this. You're going to have to help me remember what's what, because I hadn't had it memorized yet.
Right.
We proceed with the test to go back in there. Dude's got a little blood next to where the first tree marker is at, and I'm like, this isn't even, I can't believe this is even happening.
Right.
And you have to do it on the back.
Always on the back. I don't want to know what his legs look like.
They're probably bald as hell.
You know, little red marks. And we do like IDs on the arms and stuff like that. That's where you go under the skin and
Yeah.
just get a little bubble. But anyway, yeah. So we go back in and I look at Angelica and I'm like, you're measuring this shit. I'm not doing it. You're measuring. I can't. I'm going to lose it. I can't do it. Go in. We have these little measuring for the welt and the wheel. She literally has to try to move the hair and push this down to measure. It was the worst test we've ever done. The splitting hair, man. We split his hairs
So
and made him bleed.
Poor man.
When people get referred to or call in, or do you, since that situation, have you like, how hairy is your back? You may
No.
need to make a waxing appointment.
But you would think common sense would tell you, you're getting a skin test done. The likelihood of them using your stomach or your chest is not going to happen. And we're going to use your back. And typically when they make the appointments, it's, hey, so no antihistamines for 3 days, none of this, they'll make sure it's on your back. So don't put any lotions, deodorants, anything
Was
like
he
that.
allergic to anything?
Yeah, he was.
A
razor.
Jinx.
A razor and my great finesse touch. God, he still comes in. He gets allergy shots.
Does he really?
God bless him. Yeah, molds, mites, and freaking epithelials is what he's
Okay, I
allergic
got a
to.
weird
Wait,
question.
did you say moles?
Mold.
Oh, I think you
Mites.
said moles.
He's allergic to
Those
moles.
little, what are those little things?
I
Those creatures. Holy moly.
I know you guys in serious relationships, but I got to ask you, as
moly.
two women,
Yeah.
what do you do if you meet a guy and he's got that situation going on?
Hi, have you met my friend who waxes?
Hey, yeah, I took Staley right into the waxer.
Did you? Poor Staley. Treats you like a chihuahua.
Well, you would hope it goes beyond,
Yeah.
massive back hair. You don't like
Well,
the guy
if he's
for-
going to be
Right.
like that, God, can you imagine the other?
Could you
areas?
imagine if like his lover, whether male or female, because I don't know. Anyway, were like to try to like run their hand, like, oh, I got tangled. I'm sorry, honey. Yeah.
It's not other. If I meet a woman that's that hairy, it's pretty much that's a deal breaker for the old Lester. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
I'm not good looking, but I'm not dating no Guerrera. You know?
Loss.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was the really interesting. I've seen hairy people. Dude, you guys, I have a picture of one of them that has a soul patch on their lower back. I had to take a picture. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Seriously,
I'm not even sure.
You get
you can show it.
I'm going to show you.
Just be careful if you go get allergy testing with Kelly.
right.
Don't do it.
If you got some weird shit,
She's
shave
going to
it.
take a picture of it.
It is horrible. Wait, I sent it to her.
Like a soul patch.
Kelly's
That-
got a-
like that. Ugh.
Kelly's got a weird wall at her house of the shit she's seen.
Well, and it's great because I said, can I take a picture of this? And he says, sure. I didn't tell him if it was going to be before or after.
right.
I got to find her. Hold on. I'm not even, you can't make this shit.
Soul
There's
patch.
been so many stories on this podcast of stuff like this, like Finley and his 3-inch celery he pulled out of his gut, and they didn't want you to. Yeah, Finley was having some problems, and he had a piece of 3-inch celery stuck somewhere, and I'm like, "Were you deep throwing it in the produce, or what are you?" He's like, "I wish I knew." But that's sitting somewhere in a jar, and people are like, "I pulled that out of a dude," you know.
Really?
Yeah.
So
no.
while she's finding that, Michelle, let's
Okay.
hear your waxing
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, do tell.
Well, let's just say that I went to, get some things cleaned up,
Okay,
certain areas.
your
cleaned up.
ankles, good. I
Yeah.
got you.
And
That's amazing. It's like a tramp stamp.
That is a soul patch.
It's a tramp stamp.
And then you can see
is
like,
that Damon?
this is so not Damon. Damon's butt's way better than that. But you can kind of see how we mark and label.
Oh,
So
there
you know
we
what
go.
I'm talking
Look
Okay.
at that.
Soul patch, man.
Nice.
I did send it to
Man, there's some.
to a few people, and I said, because I saw it, you had to see it.
Yeah. I can't unsee that.
No.
But yeah, so I went to get some things cleaned up, and and there was a school here
Her ankles.
in the area that used to do this, right? And let's just say that Cal, when they put the wax on there, then they just rip it, right?
Yes.
Well, when she went to rip it, it didn't go. We'll just put it that way.
Oh.
I know, right? So there I am in all my glory, laying there, and she tries to rip it again, and no, wouldn't come off. Would not come off.
I hurt for you.
So
Would not come
Okay,
off. I still
so-
have it.
I was just going to ask that.
That's why her thighs stuck to no.
Have you seen me walk?
Actually, Kelly's like, "Do you see that bulge in her pants?" I'm like, I don't talk about it. God
Yeah.
bless her. She's my friend, and if that's what she's got
Yeah.
going on,
Yeah.
if old Michael over here,
Yeah, it was a bad experience. It was.
do you go back?
No, because that that's going to be stuck on there unless they rip it and get it off. It was bad.
Like the 40-year-old virgin kind of bad?
Yeah, bad.
Did you scream at her?
It was bad. Well, no, because I'm too nice like that. I just.
I would have said, get somebody in here who knows what the hell they're
They
doing.
they eventually did. Yes, they did. Mhm.
That would be the worst job ever. I couldn't.
Well,
Got a Sasquatch in room 2 who's got the paper rock scissors. Like, oh shit! Go get me
Thank
the
God they
comb.
didn't do the clippers, huh?
Oh, I know.
Oh,
God,
God
Ew,
bless. No,
eesh.
ouch.
It looks like that. My friend Kelly's guy in the back. That's what that looks like.
Yeah,
Call Kelly
that's why
Pelton.
the '70s is coming back.
That's what, God, I hope not. 70s Bush is not.
That movie. What's that movie? Heartbreak Kid.
Oh, I've seen it.
God. You have to see it.
Really?
There's a part where his wife, well, let's just say she's like the '70s look, I guess. She gets out of the water and it's all.
You know.
Have you seen the Heartbreak Kid?
No, but I knew somebody. I'm not going to say their name because
Thank God.
no, it's really bad. we all went to the pool. My kids were younger at this time. We all went to the pool. And she stood up, and it's right here. And I'm like,
It's staring at me. It's staring at
like,
me.
I can see it. It's in my peripheral vision. So finally I was like, hey, I'm just going to change her name. Sally. Hey, Sally, you kind of have some hair sticking out there. And she was like, not even kidding. She's like, oh, it's okay. Oh, I almost said his real name.
Oh.
We'll call him Steven. Steven likes it like this. And I was like,
He likes looking like he's making love to Alfalfa's face. Is that what he? Come on.
it was disturbing. And little leopard print swimsuit. I'll
With
never
that-
look at leopard print the same.
Get it cleaned up, Sally. Steve, you weirdo.
Oh, Jesus, bad.
And you'd walk around like that.
I don't. Yeah, that's wild.
Man, there's so many
Wow.
stories. Man, this is a whole. I used to work with this chick, and we had to change into uniforms. I walked in one day, and I shit you not, she had her leg up on the bench.
Captain Morgan.
I was
The
like,
captain is in.
what? I can't. It was like, she wasn't. She was from a different country, though, and
Doesn't
she was.
matter.
But I was like, okay, quit. Look away.
She's like, God damn.
Oh boy.
Hey, Yomachel, what are you doing today? You like what you see? He's angry kitty.
Do you want the pet?
Angry kitty.
Bet it likes it.
Be careful. He will bite you.
No, I'm just kidding. Touch it. No.
I'm like, can you please put your leg
Man
down?
back home died. That's why I live here now. Start complaining. Start sweating.
No.
Melt in front of my eye. Don't change your clothes in front of these two ever. That's old Staley and Damon are gonna be home. Well, like, oh please, whatever's wrong with one of them, they're like, please don't let it come out now. Please don't let it come out
And
now.
this is why there's no stories about Damon. Be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so many people used to change in front of me at the body firm.
Yeah. Hey.
Do you remember the guy with the bald head that just had the soul patch right here? He had like the little pubis
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I walked in on him shaving his body
You
with his
did?
junk on the counter.
Shut
I walked in and I went, nope. And I walked right back out. And I was like,
Apparently, you didn't go, hello,
oh,
is anybody in
I
here?
pounded on.
Oh, he probably did it on purpose, though.
Hello. Yeah. He was probably like, hey.
Hey, how
And I
you
was like,
doing?
oh, nope, not
How
today.
you doing?
Like a 4-year-old boy, like, look what I got.
It's terrible.
Look what I got.
It's on the counter.
And everybody was like, yeah, he's always naked in there. He's always doing that. I'm like,
He's an old guy, right?
You know the guy?
like, I
Listen,
mean,
all old guys are notoriously like naked people at gyms, dude. Like,
But he was like in his 40s.
okay, well, okay. that's
You're
weird.
thinking of the other guy.
I'm thinking of old guy. He's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Old long balls. It's like, man, put it away, dude.
Oh, boy, I have another story for that, too.
I do
We could
too.
Just go on and
I
on.
have to. I'm just going to say
All right, let's do it.
This has nothing to do with this. This is so really quick. Back in the day at the clinic, loved that clinic. We had a guy come in for an STI deal anyway. And it's awkward because I happen to know this guy because you're in a small town. So how do
Yeah,
you not
yeah.
know people, you know?
Yeah.
STI.
It's sexually transmitted infection.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
it threw me there for a minute, too.
Okay,
I was
okay.
thinking.
Yeah, so I guess technically they're not called STDs,
STDs.
anymore. They're
Oh.
STIs. That's
Is STDs hurtful or?
I don't know. I was corrected
I'm
very quickly
offended.
by the physician's assistant I was working with. They're like, it's not STDs, it's STIs. I'm like, okay, I'm
I'm
sorry.
offended. You said I have an STD.
Well, it's still
An STI.
GROSSS. That's gross.
True.
So this dude is, I said, okay, I'm going to come back in. I have a swab for you, and I'll be back. I come back in, and I'm not kidding, he's full Captain Morgan. That's why I was like, oh my God, this goes straight into that. He's just, and
I'm ready.
I just lock eyes.
And you know him.
I'm ready to vomit. And I just stared at him, and I'm like, you do realize you're in here to see if you've got something funky going on with your penis. I said, none of this, I'm still not looking,
Yeah, yeah.
is even remotely impressive. I was so pissed. And I handed him a swab, and I said, you do this with it, and I'll be back. And I walked out, I'm like, why?
You want to impress
Ew.
me? Grow 5 inches of hair everywhere. That's
Yeah.
And I'll take a photo.
Get more photos.
I like how he's propositioning you. That's what I like.
He was so proud of himself, and it was just revolting. And I refused. I mean, you can kind of see things, but I was like, nope.
Right.
Yeah, what
Not strained
some
from the
sick
eyes.
people out there, Larry.
You would be
Sick people.
I'd be so sad. I'd be like, I don't.
And then you run into them at Walmart, and they're like, hey, remember when you were down there looking at my vagina? And I'm like,
Oh my God.
I don't know who the hell you are.
Yes, I do. Stay away from the produce. I see
Yeah.
what's Good
Tried to
Lord.
bite me.
You put that eggplant back.
It was related to.
I haven't had cottage cheese since, you son of a bitch. I love cottage cheese.
Oh God.
All right.
Blue waffle.
Boy, this is
Yeah, this one,
bad.
this one was South Quick.
Yeah,
So
and look who's here.
look who's here. I'm telling you, man.
It's their fault.
My mother listens to this, by the way. So you two
to
correct me.
Larry's mom, it's all his fault.
Yeah.
He corrected us.
She's thinking he better not say something about him at the VDIs.
It's with the water.
It's cool, Mom. I have no idea what she's talking about. So, all right. Well, what do you think about that story?
well, the fact that she has a photo of a soul patch on a guy. I'm kind of believe in that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good story, but I think I have a clear cut one in my head so far.
Okay.
The one that I like is the Bullhucker so far. If I had to pick between the two, I have which one I'd pick.
Okay.
You?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Michelle's on the side. So the last story. We have a floater.
Floater.
This is the one I wanted to hear first, but I thought we'll say this one to last.
Save it for last.
Floaters. All right.
All right. So previously,
Could be a floater in the eye.
It could be a floater in the eye. It could be a floater in the lake. It could be a dead
Yeah.
body. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Totally not.
Yeah,
a body.
okay. I got to turn this into place. If there's, okay.
Didn't happen. So before you came in, we were talking about like there are some things that I don't like, and I don't like public restrooms. They're so gross. People leave their poop and their pee on it. They leave a freaking turd there, all that stuff, right?
Right.
And pools, people blow their boogers in there. It's like the public toilet bowl. Literally, I call the pool the public toilet bowl. It is, I think it's revolting. I will lay out, I will dip my toes for a moment in there, but I don't want to get in the pool. It's been bad experience through my whole entire life.
Apparently, because the swimsuit with the
Chewbacca's evil sister staring at me.
Right.
she's like that floating around in there.
Oh God! A little bit in my teeth. What's
Yeah.
up with that and flossing? I don't know. You're never gonna floss the same. You'll be like, it's in my tooth.
Ew.
So I take my kids to the pool. They love going to the pool. I hate it. We get there early so I can get a lounge chair so I can tan. That is all I will do. I will not get in that water. I don't want to get in the water. It's disgusting. So
even when they were little, you wouldn't get in the water?
no,
with them?
because every damn time, like I'd be in the water and I'm like, oh, what is it? And I got like bogies chilling on my arm. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, nope, not happening. I don't care how much chlorine you put in there. There's snot now on my arm, or there's freaking whatever dead something floating around, and people don't shower and that's where they bathe. I don't know. Anyway,
How about you, Larry?
is that what you do?
Well, come on.
I knew it.
Yes.
I knew it.
I thought I was a kid. I'd walk by and be like, what's the showers for? We're about to
He's
go
like,
in
I
the
got
pool.
my soap
Yeah.
in the room.
So I'm laying out. My kids are begging me. They're like, please, Mom, please get in the water. Please, you never do. And I'm like, fine. I'll get in the pool for a little bit. They're ecstatic. We're playing around
And
the
your
pool.
girls, all your kids were lifeguards, right?
Well, yeah, but this is before they were lifeguards.
Okay. But I'm saying, apparently they don't have the weird thing with the pool like you
Oh,
do.
no. The stories they've told me about what they've had to clean up, like the finger painting in the toilet room,
No, I'm good.
Ew.
a little bit of corn in
Pass.
your diet.
Pass.
Hard pass. You don't
Pass.
like poop?
Not a fan.
This is even better than.
Yeah.
So we're in the water. Everything's great. And my son's, he's dipping and diving and having a good time. He's over in kind of the shallow area where the little fountain thingies are, And my daughter's over on the deep end. And so my son's kind of coming over to me and he's like, look. And I'm like, yeah, you're doing it. Wait, what is that? What it? Come here, hurry, get over here. And he's like, oh, he starts flailing around. And this fat turd
Oh,
is right there. And it's like Jaws,
Dun, dun,
just
dun,
slowly
dun,
dun,
floating
dun,
towards
dun.
him. And I'm like, no, get over here. And he's like, ah!
Like, how old was he?
He screams, he's like 7.
Aw.
He screams bloody murder. He's like, ah! He's coming over to me and he's trying to get to me. And I'm like, okay,
I just came out of that little swimmer diaper. Little swimmer.
Yeah. And the girls
made
are
its
like,
way
what's
out.
wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, there's a giant shit in the pool. Get out. We're getting out. We're getting out. So we all get out of the pool. We try to find the lifeguard. We tell her, hey, there's a poop in the there's a big turd in the pool. There's a pool. There's a big one. It's in the pool.
Get the net.
Somebody.
Get the net.
We need to get it. Nobody can find it. There's no turd to be found. I'm like, no, there's a turd in the pool. I swear to Christ.
Like they made the pool clear.
I'm like panicking because I'm like, it almost touched my
Get the
son's
thing.
and almost gave my son the kiss of death, you know? Like it was looking at him. And they're like, well, we're not seeing it. They kind of look around. There's nothing there. Everybody gets back in the pool. We're good. And he's diving and he's having a good time and he comes up and he flails. And what happens? Here comes the turd with him. And I'm like,
Oh no.
oh my God, is my son shitting in this? Is he shitting in the pool?
It's coming from him.
You're such a problem.
Like he's 7. Why is he pooping in the pool? I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, get out of the water!
Because you called it the big toilet. That's on you,
Yes.
Kelly.
The public toilet bowl.
That's right. That's right.
It's disgusting. So the girls are freaking out too. This time it touches Destiny. She's like,
Oh, poor
and it's like,
Destiny. Yeah.
she's like, oh God, Mom, help me. We get them out of the pool. They evacuate the whole entire pool and they get the turd. The infamous disappearing turd is now out. But the worst part is it breaks apart.
Oh.
And half of it goes back into the pool. So everybody's like, oh.
This was a long day. Long day.
Everybody is like watching this magical turd do its business or
Right,
whatever,
right,
you know.
right.
Nobody's claiming it.
Nobody, no.
Would
You know,
you?
you would think, come on, you poop in the.
Yeah. Maybe it was a Baby Ruth.
Oh, no,
What's that
dude.
movie?
This was straight
What's
up-
that movie?
this
was- Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. Chrissy.
Straight up dookie. Straight up dookie. So one of the guys, I can't remember, Matthew Hoff, I think his name was. He worked at the pool. Well, anyway, he was the hero of the day, and he's like, fine, I'll go do it. I'll dive for it. So he
You're gonna
jumps
dive
in,
for the turd.
and he gets this turd, and there's little particles still
Ew.
in there, and he has
Yeah.
to get all the particles. It smears on the side of the pool
Oh no.
Yeah.
and the deep end.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody had to evacuate the pool, and we had
Don't
a
you?
floater.
Makes you want to go to the pool, doesn't it?
You know what?
Good old family fun.
You know what I pictured when you tell the story? It's not that movie. It's the movie Christmas Vacation, where the squirrel is in the house and they're
Oh,
fighting it, and they
yes,
can't find the
yes.
squirrel, and it's on the
his
guy's
back.
back. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, like, some
That is
kid
my
had that
favorite
poop on his
movie.
back, and he's like, "Where's it at?" You know, it's hitching it right on you, there, Junior.
Well, I wonder if like the anonymous pooper was like, oh, it's my turd, and like grabbed it. Was like nobody can
Some
know.
sicko,
you know,
like, or yeah.
The mystery shitter.
well,
yeah.
it's always happening, and I feel so bad.
It was
for all
the
those
gal in the
guys.
leopard print bikini. It was her turd.
She was hiding it.
She was very well.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
It was pretty bad.
The shit will slip out tonight.
It was bad, but yeah. Needless to say, everybody stood out of the pool for a while, and nobody really.
Yeah, and then they went on to be lifeguards. That's pretty.
Right?
Like, I think I would have been scarred a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, I
know.
think that if Destiny's gonna be back this year to work at the friggin'
Well, there, see,
as a lifeguard, so she,
even with all
Good
the
for
stuff
her.
she has seen.
oh yeah.
Maybe you need to have her on.
Maybe we should have Destiny on. She's in college this year, right?
Yeah, she is.
So that
she
should be a fun
is.
story. I'm sure there's some
She
crazy
has
stuff.
good one.
Let me get your sister Crystal on here. That's the one I want to.
We need to definitely get her in here.
Because her Crystal, her
Crystal
sister.
Duso, my used to be sister-in-law, but I still claim her as my sister-in-law because I love her to pieces. Amen.
Maybe if I see her,
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, I know who that is.
It'll be a few beers. I'll have to get her, but that's when it comes
Case.
out.
Get her a
Yeah,
case.
yeah. Because that's she's the one that says truly horrible shit to me. It's but it's the point where even if it hurts, I still laugh because I say equally horrible shit to her. So
No, he's not joking. There have been times I'm like,
Wow, did you guys just say that to each other? Yes. Yes.
to my ex, I'd be like, are they good?
Are they okay? Are they
Are
okay?
they fighting? I don't know because I'm kind of laughing.
no, I
don't
love
know if it's
Crystal, but
okay.
yeah, man.
Yeah, you
It's
go,
like- she knows, like I know, like if I do something stupid, I'm like, please don't let Crystal find out. Please. It's gonna be, Tim will try and take a shot at me. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
poor
it's a nice try, bud. But then Crystal will be like, here's the most evil thing that just slipped into my head, so it's coming out of my mouth, you know.
Did you guys grow up together or what?
Tim and I did.
Oh, okay,
So then-
gotcha.
yeah, it's always cool when your very good friends marry someone who's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you get along with their spouses. you know what I mean?
Yes.
So
yes.
I've always been very lucky in that
Well,
regard.
good.
So yeah,
Good.
it's it's pretty cool. So what do you think, Michelle? Do you have one in mind?
Oh boy.
Well, she thinks about it for a second. One more time, I want to say bullhucker.com is where you can find this website, our website. You can find all our stuff on there. Check us out on YouTube. If you do the YouTube, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell because it'll show you notification when we have all our episodes come out. It'll be on Facebook video in a couple weeks after this. On Facebook, like our page. On Instagram, like our page. All that good stuff. Even leave a comment of what you thought the Bullhucker was, and be honest because you're gonna find out today. We used to make them wait a week.
Yeah.
But I think it was confusing people. So
they're like, wait, what do I do? What do
people
I
do? People are like, so which one is it? I'm like, you'll find it next week. So we're gonna try it like this for a while and see how it works. So,
all right.
Our guest is Kelly Pelton, and my amigo, my hombre, Michelle Staley's here. I always like when Michelle comes. So
Oh, good.
this is the first time you and I have done this together before.
Yeah, because I was with Adam before.
Yeah, because she did my mom was on this.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it'd be unfair if I was here because I've heard all the stories.
He was sitting back over here. There's a few times it was pretty funny. He was just like
screaming stuff out,
like, no, Mom, don't say that.
Yeah, Mom. Oh God, please, Jesus. And I would have got it wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I picked the same one you did.
Yep.
So.
Okay. No. Well, I think I know.
Well, hold on. We gotta.
Which one is?
We gotta.
Oh.
Now we're doing 3 or 4 pumps. How do you paper rock scissors?
I do 3 pumps.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yep, boom, 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 and then show.
Oh, so you do 4 pumps?
Okay, so 4 pumps, yeah.
Okay, she's a 4-pump chump.
I usually
Hey,
do
don't
3.
act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm a 3-pump chump.
3.
So you're doing 3, like boom, boom, show. You ready?
She's like, have scissors, I don't know.
I don't know. You want to try that again? Because that was like a
number?
scissor
Ready?
rock. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, even though it was a great story, I'm gonna go with the Angels Among Us.
Ooh. Why? What? Why do you?
Just because I feel like I've heard a story similar to that, like maybe even saw a movie like that or something.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So I see. So splitting hairs, I think, is true. I believe that one because you had a lot of detail on that. You really went for the gusto on that one. So, and if it
And
is,
showed photos.
if it is, and showed photos. If it isn't real, kudos to you for going into such detail and fooling me. So I think that one is true. I think the Angel Among Us is true. If nothing else, I want it to be true. So many episodes that happen on this has a story that I want to be true. Usually it's a funny one or something completely horrible that's happened to somebody. I'm like, I hope that happened to you. But this one, I think I really would like that to be true. So we have a floater is why I'm going to pick from my Bullhucker because I don't know. It was funny. But I don't know. The dodging shit thing, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, poop's not known for its, ability to evade you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
turd hiding.
Yeah.
Could have went back up in those little
The mushroom
the little
thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, how would someone? I mean, that's kind of ballsy just to like pinch
Take
one
a
off in the like.
I'm telling you, a little swimmer. You could have come out of a.
I don't know. It was a pretty big.
It was a
turd.
man poop, right?
It was, I mean, it was a pretty good sized turd.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna take. We have a floater. You're gonna take Angels Among Us. Kelly, whip out the board. Let's see what's going on.
How confident are you both?
Oh no.
How confident?
Let's see it.
Do you know when you're in school and they say always go with the very first thing?
Splitting hairs. We got.
We suck.
This is the 3rd week in a row that we've been beat completely.
So
Wow.
Don't feel so bad because splitting hairs, I was firsthand witness to the whole thing going down.
But you didn't do it.
I didn't do a darn thing with it.
Oh. Damn it.
Yeah.
Really
Kudos to you.
Yeah, good job, Cal.
Yeah, that is a good job.
Wow.
Up your ass, Kelly.
Yeah, well, freaking be better, Larry.
Wow, what's some? Yeah, do you see a lot more crazy things like that?
I see
Even
some
crazier.
I have so many pictures.
She's got a whole album.
The guy came in to.
Do they know you're snapping photos?
Yeah, actually, a lot of times I ask if I can take a
Well,
picture.
here, can you sign
Really?
this? Can you sign
Can
this
you sign
form
this
for
waiver?
me?
Yeah.
We had a guy come in and he was wearing just this mask that had like this little goatee, and I was like, "Oh, bro, that's like really cool." And he's like, "Oh, wait, you want to see my other one?" And we're like, "Okay."
We do now, yes.
So he like leaves, and I'm like, "Okay." So he goes back out to his car and he comes in and he has another mask that has like a gray beard, which matched his very long gray
Yeah,
beard.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's really cool. And he's like, do you want to see the other thing I made to go with it? And we're like, is this really happening right now?
Right,
And
right.
we're like, okay. So he goes out he comes back in with a face shield that has lights and little fans on it. So if people get too close to him, he clicks them on. It blows air so that their germs won't. I'm not even kidding. You want to see a picture?
Was he
Yes.
being was he being legit? Like he thought it worked?
Oh, yeah. I work in Boulder, guys. And anybody who's from Boulder, I love all of you.
The
Not all
Republic of
you
Boulder.
Are winky, I swear.
We went like, what was Beltran, like episode 11, 12, without being beat, both of us. Turns out Adam's like the kryptonite here.
Well, I guess
the one
so.
that
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you've seen him work out. Come on.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So the Angel Among Us is true. That's a great story.
It
Phil.
is.
That is-
It was really cool.
I'm trying to think. Maybe you shared that story
There's a good chance I could have because I've told it several
at the
times
gym
to
with
people.
us?
Yeah,
So maybe that's why I was like, I feel like I've heard this before.
I was getting
Haven't-
nervous because I thought I was going to start crying because I'm like, oh man, because to this day it still bugs me that they died. And I mean, I know everybody has to die, but I just, not on my watch.
One of my little guilty pleasures is on the Travel Channel. They do all the haunted places and stuff, and they have a special series on hospitals. How that kind of thing happens quite a bit, more haunting than angels. But I mean, you would imagine that that's pretty prevalent there. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
because I mean that's the last. They're there to pick somebody up, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
know?
I have to
Indeed.
find it. You guys have like
Indeed.
1,000 pictures in here, but it is
Don't ever go for your
freaking hilarious.
allergy test.
I'll tell you what. Next time I go to the doctor and I have something weird, I'm gonna be like, put your phone outside.
No, I'll be like too late, buddy. I already got the
The
picture.
pants don't come off until the phone goes away. Okay.
I have my Zoom for that.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's about our time while Kelly's looking for that. So,
Yes.
Kelly, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
it was
it
so
was my
awesome.
pleasure.
Did you have a good time?
I did. I don't know if, people listening will think it is funny. It's one of those things you kind
Yeah.
of had to be there
Yeah,
to
it's good.
Well,
see
we
it.
took it to the
Yeah,
dark
it was
side.
Yeah, no.
We
Thank
did
you,
good.
Michelle,
Yeah,
for coming
well,
back. It's awesome.
Thanks for having me.
I love having you,
You know,
here.
it's kind of nice because I can't really, some of this thing, a lot of the things I share here, I can't say on the radio waves.
Right.
Oh.
Oh, it's like a Devo hat from the 80s,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Check it out. I swear.
Can we put that on like the website, you think? Probably shouldn't.
Probably
yeah,
shouldn't.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
might recognize.
Well, no, he's wearing a face mask, so you can't. That's not his real face,
well,
right?
Like it's not his eyes and stuff, right? Does he have a whole mask on, or that's his eyes?
Those are his eyes.
Is it?
Wow.
That's creepy. Okay.
Man,
I swear, I see so much, guys.
I guess
There's
so.
so
Boy.
much.
All right. Before we go, one more time, bullhucker.com so we can find all our stuff. Facebook's, Instagram. I'm not much on Twitter. We are on Twitter if you want to follow us on Twitter. We don't do a lot on it. But please make sure you leave a like, support the show. The YouTube, hit subscribe is a small click for you, a huge click for us. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
nice way to say that.
yeah. So please do that. I want to thank you one more time, Kelly. You've been so awesome
Yeah.
today.
Thanks
Good
for
one.
having me.
Good
I
catching up, Cal.
appreciate it. Yeah.
And Michelle, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
You're
Yep,
awesome.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry,
Likewise.
Staley. I'll quit inviting her because she wrapped me up with all kinds of shit. So I'm the response to you
Oh
guys.
boy, I haven't told any Staley stories.
Thank you so much, guys. Later.